Hi guys, it's Yuka. Konnichiwa, Yuka です。今日は as you can see by the title, I'm going to talk about pros and cons about living in Japan. So for the most of my life, like 23 years, I have been living in and working in Japan, and just more than 1 year I have experienced living in overseas, which is in Canada. It will be combined from study time and work time, and I believe I have lived in there long enough to tell the differences about the cultures, but I'm not going to talk about which is good or bad. I'm just going to focus on life in Japan. And for the disclaimer, this is just one of my opinion, and it's totally personal, and this doesn't apply for everyone, obviously. So just don't take it too seriously. Just my thoughts from my experience. So yeah, let's get started. So let's start with pros. Because I have less pros. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm ashamed of myself that I'm Japanese and saying that pro is less than cons. I am very, very ashamed of myself. But this is something like you knew as you experience other countries and other cultures, So it's kind of a shame, but I don't think it's a bad thing, I believe. So pros. Number one, needless to say, food is a big thing. Like when you're in another country, you can't really eat Japanese food. Maybe if you could make, it's not gonna be the same, like you go to Asian supermarket, you get ingredients and stuff, and it doesn't feel like it's the same. Or maybe I can't cook. Well, no. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a different brand, a different procedure have made. I don't know why, but it doesn't taste the same. So, and also food is a very big thing, It's important for your health. So it does matter when you go outside of country. Some people kind of like give up living in another country because of food is too good in their country, but I can go with it. But I know I'll be missing it. So that's the number one thing I like about being here in Japan. And number two, cleanness. Like lots of people told me like Japan is cleaner, but I didn't see that big differences from my experiences, but I could tell like there are like high-tech bathrooms and shining mirrors and fancy looking chandelier, lightning in the airport. I saw there's a one in Narita airport, so like it's good looking, better looking than other countries, I think. And most of the public places like shopping center or building and any common places are pretty clean. I have hardly ever had any problem living using a bathroom outside of my home. And some people love about that music, what it's called, like music feature, or like cleaning your butthole from the pressured water from the bottom. I don't know, like I don't really use it, so I don't care it's necessarily for us or not, but some people like it, and I think it's pretty proud thing, I guess. So clean, it's important, right? And number three, punctuality. Everything is on time, punctual. especially train. Like even though we have very complex train society around Tokyo, somehow they keep punctuality, and that's why we are naturally trained as a punctual nationality. I don't know which was the first. We were punctual, so that train gets punctual, or they were punctual, so we became punctual. We hardly ever messed up our schedule because of it, unless they have like a huge earthquake or someone just suicide. I don't know. It happens sometimes, but most of the time you're fine with it, and you're not gonna have any trouble because of the delay. Number 4, we have beautiful seasons, especially spring time. As lots of travelers comes to Japan on spring, I like to see cherry blossoms for sure. Like it's pretty. Like you see pinky flowers on the trees, and maybe later April you will see cherry blossom carpet on the ground. Like it's fallen off from a tree, and it looks so pretty and it's so gorgeous. I love spring, but I hate rest of the seasons because it's nasty. Number 5, we have a convenience store. Like literally everywhere. As the name says, it's convenient place. It's so nice, like you can pay for the rent, you can get a ticket, you can buy food, you can get groceries, you can get stationaries, you can get tobacco, you can do everything, pretty much. So it's convenient. And oh, wait a second, I also like vending machine too. It's super convenient. So convenient stuff are more invented here, I think. So that's one of the things I like about. But at the same time, I feel like it's too much, because every blocks away there's a convenience store, and I feel like it's a waste of space. Like we don't need that much. We can walk for next 50 meters, you know. Okay, we don't need that close. Sometimes you see like different convenience stores like sitting next to each other's. Are you competing every day? That's not good. You know, everything too much is not good, but for some extent it's okay to have it, I think. And a convenience store and vending machines are super good. Number 5 or 6, I don't know. We have more entertainment places such as karaoke, bowling, inner theme park, adventure park, inner water swimming place, and live house, cute cafes and stuff. Whatever that is, that's something that it will entertain you, and then it's it's everywhere, especially in big cities. You will never get bored of it. Yeah, so here's the pros about living in Japan. How did you think about it? And next, let's move on to cons. Cons number 1. It costs so much money. It costs so much money. If I compare with other country, for my case, in Canada I only paid for rent, groceries, regular taxes, gas. That's it. That's pretty much it. Yeah, right? Yeah. And it didn't even cost more than $1,000 for total. So I could save so much money. But in here, as Japanese citizens, it costs so much money. You know, if you own a car taxes. If you own a house taxes. If you're renting, you either have to pay tax or rent fee. And of course, gas is expensive, groceries and school fee, and if you go to school. Transportation costs so much money. Like train. No kidding, it's expensive. From my house to Tokyo, it cost 3,000 yen, $30 for roundway. It's not cheap. It's not too expensive either. But you know, I can't go to Tokyo every day. It will cost like, I don't know, $150. No, it's expensive. And then you think like this way: why don't you have a car? It's expensive too. If you want a brand new car, of course it costs money. But even like second use, it's, if you don't really care about how that quality, they're of course cheap ones, but it costs money. Like I said, car tax, and also every year you have insurance and stuff. I don't own a car, so I don't really know how much or how often that happens, but owning a car is expensive. And if you are living in apartment, you have to pay for the garage, and then utilities. In my case, it was $100 for a month. So rent and utilities are separate usually. So an average, I paid a little bit about $500 plus utilities and $100. So it already cost $600. And if you wanted to hang out with friends, it costs maybe a couple more $100 and stuff. So average salary minus at least $700, $800 for single, you will know the result. Cons number 2, car society. This is something so personal thing, and really depends how you want to live life in Japan. But I like driving, I like car, so I'm jealous of car society. But here it's very, very hard. Like I said, it costs money, and it's also like environmentally hard to have it too. Like Japan is a very small country, so we have nowhere laws and lots of stops and traffic lights and curves and stuff. Like, so it's not as the same as other country. And if you want to live in Tokyo, but at the same time you don't want to have a train life, it's impossible, almost impossible. You gotta be super rich to own it and to manage it and to keep it. Cons number 3, cash society. Yes, Japan is very, very isolated from other countries. So we still have cash society. Just recently, the government finally pushed credit card society for Olympic, because they assume that lots of foreign people will come to Japan and it's gonna be trouble if they couldn't use, if they didn't have Japanese cash, or any money trouble. So for the sake of prevent having those problems, government finally advertising more credit card use or any electronic payment. But still, like if you go to like dollar store, they won't accept credit card. So it's sometimes hard. Like I don't really have time to go to bank and get cash out. And even if you could at the convenience store, sometimes it costs like a fee. So I prefer to have credit card only. It's more smarter than, less thing to have it. And one thing I really liked about paying stuff in Canada was you don't even need to insert your card inside the machine. You have to just tap it, and then just like a Suica or PayPay in here, it's like a few seconds, you tap it, and then there you go. Cons number 4. Our education system is not the smartest idea. Like I said, we are a very isolated country, so we have different unique system for education too. Normally our school starts from April and end on March. And we have 2 semesters from April to July and September to March. And that's same for all through years from elementary to university. It's fine that they are setting different time schedule from other countries, like they start from September. It's fine, but the way they set the goal for educating is not what I think it should be. When you're in senior year in high school, you studied so hard to get into university. I mean, once you get into university, you're just like free. You're almost do nothing but having fun. So you barely studied, and as you go older, you kind of started preparing for job hunting. But since Japanese university is not meant to utilize your skill that you studied in college student time, some people came from scientific course, maybe got a job at a restaurant server. I don't know, it's totally unexpected stuff. It could be anything. So your major doesn't really matter in Japan unless you want to be a doctor or lawyer or those, high level educated people. No. So it doesn't make sense for me. Your major should be something that relates to your job, future, right? But it doesn't go like that way, most of the people. So yeah, I think that's a problem that we have, and we should change a little bit. Cons number 6. We are not friendly. So I'm in the middle of a dilemma. Like, I know how foreign cultures looks like, so I know I can be pretty open and friendly for strangers. Just like a lady on the supermarket says, "Hi, how's it going? And have a good day." Those little conversations will make you happy. At least made me happy. And that's what human is supposed to be like, like even a stranger you can talk, right? So I like that culture, but here we don't really have it. We tend to keep our private stuff inside ourselves and then try to less communicate, and silent is beauty, maybe not. We don't really don't want to step into any of other people's private. So it's super awkward when you're in train. Everyone is sitting like this and doing smartphones, and I don't know, some people are sleeping and just silent. Super awkward. You just look around, everyone's so quiet. I guess we're not used to starting a conversation with neighbors and strangers. And cons number 7. We're not cooperative for each other's. I don't know if this is because religious side of culture or not, but when you're in other country, even from the stranger, they will give you help. like your neighborhood. If you need a help for the ride, let me know. Or if you need help for moving, just let me know. I'll give you a ride, or I'll give you boxes, just those little things. We just rely on someone that I know, but we don't try to ask for community. We don't really have a community too, like city community. Like you post on something on Facebook and ask for help for moving and stuff. No, I don't see at all. Like we don't have community. Isn't it a little sad? We have high populations and we have more people around us, but we're not connected as citizens, as neighbors. So that's why we're not patriotic compared to other countries. We try to have distance from other people, so like I don't feel united as citizen, as Japanese with other people. So it's very sad. Like we have so many things that we can proud of, but we are not super proud of being Japanese, I think. I get it, it's part of the nationalities, and I know it is, but you might be feel a little bit lonely if you came to Japan by yourself, and if you don't have any friends at all. That will be a bit stressful and hard for the first few months, because everyone is not that supportive and not that friendly until they will get to know you better. So yeah, I think that's another cons I have to say. So those are the pros and cons that I came up with my mind from my experiences. If you have any pros and cons that I didn't mention, please let me know on your comment. I would like to know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on next video. Bye!